Hey, how's it going everyone? This is K Collections and today I'll be doing a review on the Kotobukiya King of Knights Saber from Fate Stay Night. This does have an awesome display, a clear window to see the figure itself, and I'm actually quite surprised. This box is pretty huge. Some creasing here and there. I bought this off of eBay for about $100. This is authentic. The seller, has great credibility. Only gripe is that there are some creases, some damage here, which does lower the value a bit. But I couldn't help it. Just be careful when you're buying PVC figures, especially figures of Saber, because there are a lot of knockoffs, especially on eBay and Amazon. So just be very careful. Make sure to do your research. A great way to really see if it's real or not. This isn't always 100%, but it's a great way to tell, is that usually they have a sticker, sells outside Japan only, or they have like the company's logo sticker. I know this one, they should have a Type Moon sticker of authenticity. So if it has that, most likely it will be real, but knockoffs are getting better. They are making the stickers more, I guess, realistic. So just be careful when you're buying online. And yeah, let's get this figure opened up. So here's Saber out of the box. This figure looks awesome. From the sculpt work to even the paint work, everything looks amazing. She does stand about 10 inches tall, not including the top of her little hair piece. So add another inch or so. Very big figure, and there are some issues with this. I'll get to that as I go along with my review. Some key notes is that she is attached to her base, meaning you can't remove her. At least I haven't forcefully tried to remove her. I didn't want to break anything. And these effect piece, these wind/energy effect piece, whatever you want to call them, you do have to attach it to the base. The manual that comes with this figure does give you some instructions. However, they don't tell you the specific placement of these effect piece. So what I did was I just saw a picture on Google and kind of copied what it looked like. Let's first talk about the face. This is one of my main issues that I had with this figure. Her face does look a little off to me. I can't put my finger on it. It could be the way her cheeks are sculpted or how her mouth is sculpted, but something's off about it. Not that big of a deal though. The eyes look amazing. The paintwork, it does look like Saber, so don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of other figures that look nothing like Saber. So, moving on to the back portion of her head, the sculpt work for the hair is beautiful. You can see each individual line being sculpted all around her hair. Beautiful there. The ribbon is beautifully sculpted and painted as well. Though it looks like the wind is blowing on it. That's what Kotobukiya is going for. It looks very natural. Nice curves. Nice wrinkle on the ribbon. The coloring, the yellow coloring on her hair looks very natural as well. I've seen a lot of other figures of Saber where the coloring on her hair is so bright. It doesn't even look realistic at all. It even looks plastic even. But for this figure, beautifully done. Her gauntlets, her chest armor, and her waist armor all are beautifully sculpted. It has this nice metallic silver painting. Very shiny. Looks awesome. Her chest armor, or breastplate, whatever you want to call it. Let me focus my camera. As you can see, there are individual blue linings as well. Nice blend of colors there. Upper portion is also sculpted. The gauntlets sculpted very nicely as well. Nice bumps all around her armor, or her gauntlet piece. Move on to the waist piece. Sculpted beautifully as well. Nice shiny metallic, like I mentioned earlier. There are no paint splashes, chips, or anything, so that's a big plus there. Very high quality. That's what you would expect from a pretty expensive figure. Kotobukiya has always been great with their figures. It depends on which lines though. Not all of them are perfect. Same thing here. Beautifully painted, very smooth. Now let's talk about the only accessory that comes with this figure, besides the effect piece, of course, her main weapon, Excalibur. The sword itself is beautifully sculpted, very accurate to the anime/video game or movies, whatever you want to say. Painted beautifully as well. The sword isn't as shiny as her armor. It is still painted with a nice metallic silver. but not as shiny like I mentioned. The runes or the symbols on her sword is sculpted. So let's move on to one of the main issues I have with this figure, and it's how you prop up or stand her sword. As you can see, it is at a slight angle. It's supposed to be a lot more centered, and the reason for that is there's really no peg to insert the sword or anything. All you do is put the handle, the top of the handle, underneath one of her hands, and kind of push this or prop this sword up, and this will be easily knocked off. So my main issue is that if you put too much pressure, the tip of the sword will be dented or chipped. It won't be as sharp or as elegantly beautiful. So you could damage the tip. That's why don't put too much pressure onto the tip of the sword or tip of the blade. That's just a big warning I want to give to everyone, because most pictures and images of this figure, you see that sword will be more straight, not so much at an angle. Taking a closer look at the back portion of this figure, beautifully sculpted of her dress, nice curves. Again, Kotobukiya was going for a wind effect where her clothing is being blown by the wind. That's why I always assumed that this effect piece was the wind. It could be energy. Again, I don't really know. Her shoe is the same color as her armor piece, a nice shiny metallic painting. Very smooth again, really no issues with paintwork there. There's no paint bleeds, chips, or splashes. And her stand is beautifully, it's not sculpted, but painted as well. As you can see, that's her symbol. I assume it's been so long since I saw Fate Stay Night and any movies related to it, or even played any video games. So I assume that's Saber's summoning symbol, where Shiro summoned her or something. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections, and I do apologize for that. But very beautifully painted, a nice blend of light blue and black. And the light blue on the stand does match this translucent wind effect, or again, energy effect. Overall, very beautiful. One of the best looking stands I've ever seen. There are some figures, in general, that are pretty plain. I absolutely hate just a clear stand or a plain black stand. Even symbol stands that just has the title of the figure itself. For example, it says Fate Stay Night on the stand. It's pretty simplistic. I hate those. I always love bases that has a nice design, kind of like this. This is why I love this figure. I personally don't own any other Fate Stay Night or Fate character statues, or even figures in general. This is my first one. And so here's just a quick comparison with the Kotobukiya Dark Magician Girl. And I already did a review for this, so if you haven't seen it, feel free to check it out. And here's just another comparison with a Funko Pop, the Naruto 6-pack. I also did a review on this. Feel free to check it out as well. And yes, I do keep my Funko Pops back in their boxes after I review them. I just love it that way. And this, in general, gives you a nice height comparison, to see how tall or big this figure is. So, final thoughts on this figure. I absolutely love it. However, I can't really recommend this to just everyone. Feel free to buy this figure if you can find it. If it's cheap, go for it. If it's over $100, $150-ish, I guess that's a normal price range for this figure, then kind of think twice before you buy it. Unless you really like this pose or you're a huge fan of Kotobukiya's product, go for it. But the reason why I can't really recommend this figure, even though I absolutely love it, is because there are so many other Saber figures out in the market. You could actually use the same money to buy, I would even go as far as to say, better Saber figures. There's so many other variations. The Good Smile Company makes beautiful Saber figures as well. The Saber Lily, Saber Alter, even a different version. I think it's the Excalibur Triumphant version. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. The one where Saber is about to basically slash. She's in the air, about to slash her enemies, etc. So there's so many other figures of this character. I couldn't really recommend this one. It is pretty simple looking. She is in her signature pose, but I also agree with many comments that I read online. This is too simplistic for such an expensive figure. If you want her in an action pose, buy a different one. And that's just some of my final thoughts on it. I absolutely love it. I do not regret buying this whatsoever. Again, I paid about $100 on eBay, so it's quite expensive, don't get me wrong. But if you don't like this position or how this figure looks, always feel free to buy a different one. I personally recommend the Good Smile Saber Lily. I actually got that, or I bought that from Ami Ami, or Ami Ami, or however you pronounce it. I apologize for those who are a huge fan of that website. And yeah, that's just my overall thoughts. And if you like what you see here, hit the like button. I always say this, I love the support. I wouldn't be doing these videos if you guys, haven't been so supportive. Even though I have so very little subscribers, the community is very engaging and supportive. I thank my current subscribers every single day. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hey, why not subscribe to my channel? See what I post in the future. I do collect a lot of other figures, Polaris Kai, other PVC figures. I did say my Saber Lily from Good Smile Company is coming in, so I will do a review on that. And again, I always just love the support. And as always, guys, have an awesome day.